All right, greetings all. Welcome back. Boy, Cardano taking off 12% the last couple of days, like 20% up from a few days ago. People were making fun of Cardano because it was just kind of a sleeper. You know, it does this dead fish thing here for a while and then takes off. So here in our run here, we can see it easier if I go to a 7-day. This is kind of what it's been looking like for Cardano. End of July, the market started rebounding and Bitcoin took off, Ethereum takes off. A lot of these other projects start taking off and they're reinvigorated a little bit. I would say that the boot of the mighty investment firms out there was finally off the neck of Bitcoin to allow it to come up. And Cardano just kind of still sat there for a while until 2 days ago when it decides to pump. And right now it's pushing up close to its all-time high at it's $2. Its all-time high is at $2.30. So if it does, you know, it's within percentage of actually being one of the cryptos to come back to its all-time high. It's probably one of the closest ones to doing that. Bitcoin is still $20,000 off. Ethereum is still probably about 30% off, just like with Bitcoin. And Cardano only has like 18-20% to go from $2 to $2.30. So it went from lagging behind to being the leader as far as that goes. A lot of people like Cardano. There's a lot of Cardano out there, and should you invest in it? Personally, myself, I would not invest in Cardano above like $1.50. Is my own personal cutoff for it. Right now, Cardano still does not do anything. And it's for the reason for the pumping, though, is because it might do something in the very near future. For people out there who are unaware of what Cardano is, ADA, it is a competitor to the Ethereum blockchain. And I am not a fan of the Ethereum blockchain either, except it does make a lot of money for people, including myself. Full disclosure, I have Ethereum too. I just don't like the setup of everything being completely centralized and then going off of proof of work to go to proof of stake. And everybody who owns Ethereum, 50% of the people who own Ethereum own like more than 100,000 Ethereum. So it's as central can get, which is why I like Cardano, and that it's made by the same guy who is developing Ethereum, except it's meant to be a decentralized approach, right? The problem with Cardano is they have 40 billion tokens. And there might be some reasoning behind that, but with 40 billion tokens, your price upside, it's not going to be worth $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 or compete on the price per coin as an Ethereum. You know, there's just too many coins. That said, they can institute a burning mechanism just like Ethereum recently did and get rid of some of those coins. But what we have for the reason for the pumpage, August 13th, 2021, the Gauguin Alonzo development update. Mid-month, we're targeting September 12th for the Alonzo upgrade, bringing smart contracts to Cardano via hard fork. So what this means is that Cardano is going to actually start doing something, right? It came out since 2017 and it's done nothing. It's just a speculative asset that a lot of people own and hold. And it's like the white paper looks good. And what they're planning to do looks good. And the guy who is running it was a developer on Ethereum, and he created his own chain, and he knows what he's doing. And he's taking his time and making sure that everything is done right. The problem is that that's not really an investment until you have something to show for yourself. And I guess they're sorting out and ironing out every single last little bitty bug that they possibly can before releasing it. Whereas Ethereum was kind of just like, well, there it is, and we'll fix it as we go along. And because there is something to be said about being the first ones out there. Personally, I don't like Ethereum because it costs you $100 transaction fees to do very, very simple things. And very monopolistic, but hey, Ethereum's the monopoly. So I'm rooting for Cardano. It's just they have to have something to show for it before you can invest. Which I think is, when you look at the markets as a whole, in the reason that they all started going up everything follows Bitcoin to a sense. But once Bitcoin started going up and once it hit like $40,000, then it really started moving up, it's because people needed the validation that the market was turned around, including large investors, before they would actually invest their money. Just something that I hadn't thought of before. Another YouTuber had brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't matter to these large investors if they're getting in at a slightly higher price, as long as they have confirmation that the coin or the token or whatever the investment is actually moving in a positive upward direction. You almost call it like FOMO for the guys with a lot of money, right? FOMO for the investment hedge funds, or fear of missing out. So ADA is the big story of today, but there are a lot of winners. The market is up in general for the top coins. In the 24 hours, everybody is pretty well in green. Yeah. Bitcoin, of course. Bitcoin, it was down yesterday. Now we're back up to 46,400. And what I personally believe with Bitcoin, what I'm looking for Bitcoin to do is to gradually move sideways, more or less. Gradually to the upside, but as you get closer to the $50,000 mark, probably like 48, 49,000, the percentage, you might be a 1% positive for Bitcoin and it go down from by 0.5% and really ride that 50,000 and then maybe up into 51 or something and just go sideways and allow things like the Ethereum and the alt market to take off and really sort of pump. That doesn't mean I don't see Bitcoin at like $80,000 to $100,000 by the end of the year. Everybody does. Everybody. I'm actually conservative on that at 80,000. But the reason for 80 and not higher is because we had 4 months taken out of the market with, Bitcoin going down to 30,000. And then, all of the downward pressure on it from the whales and the accumulators to make sure that they could accumulate what they want, and that took a few months out of the cycle. There is, of course, talk about an extended bull market cycle and all of this, and, we'll see what happens with that. But because of that, it's like, 80,000, it was still good. I mean, it's still almost a 3x from where Bitcoin was at its bottom. So that's where we're at there. On the 90 days with Bitcoin, it's creeping up there, going back ever closer to its all-time highs. And it's kind of are people going to stop and take profit then, or are we just going to keep going? That's the big question. Either way, I think we're going to see 80K by the end of the year. Either way in that regard. Any other big winners? Well, recently, XRP, all the XRP holders, I know there's a lot of them, the XRP army out there. XRP finally did something. I used to be an investor of XRP, but I like coins that do things, And as far as the market goes, XRP hasn't done a whole lot, and then it does. And that's how XRP has always kind of worked. If you look at the past year, you had a long time of nothing, and then we make a whole bunch of gains. We flatten out, a long time of nothing and a whole bunch of gains. And, we'll see what happens with XRP going on in the future. But really, other than that, the market looks good. Litecoin's even up. All the major players. Chainlink, a lot of fans of Chainlink. I got some of that. Solana, Matic. Matic is really up. Matic's up by almost 10% in 24. So, again, market is good, but the big call-out player is going to be Cardano as the big mover and shaker, and it is because they are finally getting smart contracts. And, if they're building it into the system so that they can essentially take Ethereum's business from them right away. And it'd be interesting to see how much adoption that has and how many people immediately want to switch to Cardano, because Ethereum is really, I don't know how people put up with the fees in Ethereum because they have to. Ethereum is the only place you can go. That's it. You have Ethereum. Solana, I believe, is now they're taking some of the market share away from Ethereum, but it's really just kind of Ethereum. Everything is built using ERC20 tokens. And now Cardano is baking it in so anybody who is currently running ERC20 or plugged into Ethereum can just kind of flip a switch and go run on Cardano. And hopefully the market evens out a bit so that there's a little competition between, you know, Ethereum and Cardano. And if Cardano truly is decentralized, I might move my funds over to Cardano. But that is yet to be seen as to what's going on with that. And that is not necessarily an investment advice or anything like that. That is a personal principled opinion about super mega corporate conglomerate things. You know, Ethereum completely centralized with Vitaly Buterin at the head, running on Amazon Web Services. And then he cut out all the miners with proof of work to go proof of stake. You cannot get anything more centralized than that. And then on the other hand, you have Cardano with 45 billion coins. I mean, for all I know, Ethereum has that many too. They don't say that they do, but you know, who knows? So there's that in there. If you're looking at getting in Cardano, though, my advice is to wait for it to back off a bit. It bumped up 20%. I would expect it to backpedal probably 6 or 7%, right? So think about that and whether or not you want to be part of the Cardano team group of people who are staking and all that. You know, I mean, like I said, they make it very easy to stake. I think if you buy it on Coinbase, it automatically stakes it for you, or you earn 5% on it. Really can't go wrong. So with that, guys, that is the news for today. And what's up with Cardano? And we'll see you next time.